Welcome. In this session, we are going to download app on victim device and we are going to get hacked. To do this, on an Android device, we'll go to Google Chrome, we'll open the web URL, and the web URL to which we want to connect to is 35.166.108.185. Once we search for the URL, on the URL, you can see that we have got link to the application available. We can simply click on the application and we can download that application. Once the application gets downloaded, we're going to open the application. Once we open the application, you can see that we have list of the applications available which we have recently downloaded. And at the moment, I would like to test my hack with a 1.apk. Once I open the application, I would specify my. Now what next we do, on the website here, we can go and click install. Once we install the application, installation will begin and application gets installed. After successful installation of the application, we can go done. Once the application has been installed on a user's device, what next you can see is, let's say we are here as an attacker, we are listening on the shell. Once the application will be started, the name of my application was main activity. So once I open main activity, nothing will be done, and you can see that on the left hand side we have got a MetaPredator shell of the device available. Now whatever the user wants to do, now once we have the MetaPredator shell on the device available, so we can do a lot of stuff. Let's say we're going to execute help command in order to get a list of commands which a hacker can use and exploit. So at the moment you can see that the device owner does not understand or does not know that his phone has been hacked. And what we can do is we can execute a lot of statements, like we can check if it's rooted or not, we can dump the call logs, we can dump contacts, SMS, we can send an SMS to other device, and we can do a lot of stuff. So let's get started with some of the sample examples. So first thing which I would like to do is we're going to dump the call log. To do the call log details, we have executed the command dump call log, and you can see that now the call log dumps have been saved to call log dump and this device. Next, what we can do is we can dump the list of contacts, and once we executed the command, you can see that the contacts have been loaded. Now once your application has been run, and in case if you want to hide your app icon, you can execute hide underscore app underscore icon, and once you do that, your activity, main activity, gets hidden. It won't show on the launchers. Now you can see that if we have opened the program again, there will be no icon available on the launcher menu. So this is how you can hide the icons as well. What next you can do is you can dump the messages. You can using dump SMS command, and once the dump has been done, 960 SMS messages have been stored to the dump file. What next you can do is you can perform more commands, like you can send an SMS. So in order to send an SMS, you can execute send SMS, and you have to provide some format, like you have to specify the destination number and the SMS body text which you want to send to. So we are going to make use of send SMS. We are going to send a destination mobile to my device 96548255370, and I would like to type some text using hyphen option T, and we like to send something, hello, how are you? So this will be the message which will be sent. So an SMS has been sent and the SMS has been received. Once the SMS has been received, now what next we can do is we can set the audio mode, we can execute SQLite queries from databases from different storage, and we can get the wireless LAN location. Let's say we're going to execute wlan underscore geolocate. There are various other hidden commands. Once we execute wireless LAN geolocation, we're going to get the location of the wireless LAN. Once you have got wireless LAN geolocations, you can proceed to various other commands, like you can execute background command in order to get a list of all the sessions available, and you can interact with multiple devices as well. You can use command sessions-list-l command to get a list of all the devices connected, and you can interact with an individual device using the ID parameter. You can use the command session-i to interact with the ID, and once you do that, you'll get access to, so that can be done using sessions interact 1, and we will be start interaction with session number 1. And now there are some more commands, like we can get started with webcams list. Once we execute webcam list, you can see that this command was not listed, but we can use web cameras of a hacked device. So once we do that, we can see that we have a back camera and a front camera available. So now what next we can do is, in case if a back camera and a front camera available, we can perform some instructions. And to do this, let's say we like to make use of webcam underscore snap, and we like to specify that I want to take this snap from my front camera. So we can do a webcam snap, and a webcam snap will be taken and will be stored onto a file, and it has been stored at root. We cannot open the JPG file at the moment here, hence it is displaying you some errors, but later we can copy the file to our variable web directory. In other case, you can also use your camera underscore stream, and you can make use of the stream for the front camera as well, and we can specify the front camera through which we want to stream, and the value will be available within a file known as trcemvhe.html. So now we can see that the player has been opened at this HTML file. And now what next we have to do is, the file has been generated and all the information will be received within this trcemvhe.html file. So what next we can do is we can make use of a Control-C command. We don't want to close the session. So what next we'll do, now we are going to make use of background, and in the background if we execute ls, you can see that this is the JPG file which has been taken. So we are going to copy this VA file, or else what we can do is, let's come out of our console here at the moment. So we have the exit. We're going to make use of Control-Z command to come out of the Metasploit framework, and in the root we have the JPG file available. So now what next we can do is, since we have closed the session, now we won't be able to receive the trcemvhe, but we can see the JPEG image which has been done. So we are going to copy that to our device in the directory where www.html, and once we did that, later what we can do is we can copy our SMS dumps as well, and we can view them as well. So let's say if we would like to get the call log dumps or the contacts dump, so we are going to perform something like the call log dumps, and once we execute that, you can see that we get a list of calls which have been made. It's an incoming or an outgoing call. And in case if you want to get a list of messages or the contacts which we did, so what we can do is we can open these files and we can view the details. So now what next we can do is we can copy the trcem file to where www.html directory, and once we did that we can proceed to our browser, we can refresh that, and now you can see that we have some JPG files available here. Once we open the file on a browser, we have got one sample image available. Since the phone was kept downwards, we have got the black screen. We have got an HTML element as well available, at which we can get the stream of the camera. So here the stream will be received once the device will continuously send camera data from the device to the server. So this is how what we can do is we can simply execute these Metasploit commands and we can access the devices. So now here you are clear with how to create applications for Android with malicious payloads available, and these applications can be connected to your Kali Linux server which is available on cloud. So at any time, let's say for an example, if you're roaming out and you have some shells listing on cloud, you can take any device, you can quickly download application on a user's phone, and as soon as you start your application, the shell will go to your server, and whenever you go back home, you will be able to access the sessions. So these sessions are automatically, and phones will automatically get connected to the shell once your server is running. So this is how you can make use of cloud, and you can set up a Kali Linux instance and you can exploit devices. In order to protect the devices, you can force encrypt your devices, and which is available in the settings menu. You can go to your settings option, and within settings you can, once you have opened settings, you can go to security. Within the security section, you can click security. Once you click security, you can see that there is an encryption option available, and you can go and click encrypt phone. To perform this encryption, you should have battery more than 80% charge, and you can simply click on encrypt phone and you can protect your data. So in case if somebody gets exploited or victimized, his data will not be opened since it's encrypted on the device. So thank you for watching the video.